Good afternoon, or good, it's still morning, I guess. This is Michael Laws, General Manager of the Dayton Silverbacks. This is episode number 7, right? 8?
6.
6? I'm getting ahead of myself. Of Ask the GM. We'll get right to the questions. First of all, a lot of people have been asking about the Combine on Sunday, which is taking place over at Inglewood Indoor Soccer on Winger Road this Sunday morning. Registration from 10 to 11 with drills roughly running from 11 to about 1:30 to 2. Registration for that pre-done by today on Friday would be $40. It will be $50 if you do show up that day to participate. A couple of questions that we've had about that's come in. What is your age requirement for tryouts? Tryouts, you are allowed to be 18. However, we do want you to keep in mind that this could end up being a professional decision and would ruin any NCAA or college eligibility possibilities for you. So it's just something to keep in mind for anybody that would be interested in that, because this would be a professional contract and would be a sign of waiver, and they do find out that you participate in this, that could ruin any future college eligibility if you're interested in pursuing that. So that's the one thing that we do kind of maybe want to warn about in doing that. It is an age of 18, however, with the disclaimer with that. So if you had any expectations of doing that in the future, I would highly suggest that you proceed with caution. Next question we have is from Matt Wilson. Have you guys signed anyone yet? And the answer to that is, as of right now, no, we have not. We are going to go through we wanted to get through the Combine here this Sunday, and there is a possibility of making some offers to anybody in the Combine that might impress the coaching staff, and also the possibility of bringing back some veterans. So we wanted to get through that first, but kind of stay tuned to our website and our Facebook page, and that could be changing very, very shortly. The next question, I believe also from Matt, for the Combine, this is in regards to the Combine, do you have to have equipment to try out? And to answer the question, basically, it is helpful that if you have anything, probably the big thing that if you do have is a helmet. However, we do have certain drills and things that we might be able to at least loan out for temporary on that. But basically, the big purpose of this particular this one we're kind of calling a Combine / tryout, is to basically kind of get some timing of some speed drills, agility drills, some strength drills, things of that nature. Not a lot of, probably will not be any, hardly any hitting at all. It's mostly just to kind of test it out, and then when we get into tryouts, then a little bit, which would be starting next month in October, that'll be our next tryout date, is when we'll kind of start doing a little bit more in the equipment and the potential of hitting, and then a little bit more of that as we go. And it's completely up to our head coach, obviously, in doing that, but a lot more of that, you'll see that as the progression goes. We'll get a little bit closer to hitting until we actually get into training camp. And the last question we had was training camp, basically kind of a timeline for that. And the training camp, according to CIFL regulations, we are allowed to start training camp as of our last owners meeting on January 11th. So that's when we want to have our training camp roster in place. Our training camp roster has to be capped at 50 players according to league regulations. And then after that, within that training camp, we will start making cuts, and basically we will be carrying on a roster down to 25. That's what our roster is. We carry 25 players under contract, where we dress 19 players at each of our games. So the rest of them would either be practice squad, and the ones that wouldn't dress, or potentially injuries and stuff, and things that we sometimes deal with throughout the season. So a lot of people are asking about that time frame, but basically our training camp has to be capped. We are allowed to bring in 50 players to training camp. and that is basically what the tryouts are for, is to figure out who's going to be on that 50-man training camp roster and offering them camp contracts, and then after that, hopefully being able to make our squad. So that's all we have this week. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the questions. A lot of people showing a lot more interest than I thought I would ever see on this, and a lot of people are very, very interested in making our club. And I will tell you, I'm very, very interested in trying to keep this club as local as I can, because we pride ourselves on being a community asset. And if I can do that and bring a championship to Dayton with local players, I will be more than happy to do that. So I want to thank everybody for your questions, and we'll look forward to next week's episode of Ask the GM. Thanks.